Before I move on, I want to show you a few additional schema options that will be relevant later on. First, we have the option to create a PMax campaign for online sales with a product feed, which I'll be referring to as PMax Retail. To create a retail campaign, simply add the shopping setting field in the campaign with entries for merchant center ID and feed label, which are required for PMax Retail campaigns. Asset groups in PMax Retail campaigns also require a valid product partition tree, so you can nest a list of asset group listing group filters in each asset group. However, I haven't built support for asset group listing group filters and automatically create a single node tree that includes all products whenever creating a retail campaign. Finally, I want to show you some settings I built into the pipeline. One of my favorite parts about the validation step in the pipeline is that I've built in mechanisms to automatically fix certain errors by specifying certain campaign settings. I want to be clear, these settings are not part of the Google Ads API. They're only present in this custom pipeline application that we're going through today. If you exclude these settings or set them to false, any associated errors will block campaign creation altogether. However, setting these fields to true can automatically fix certain errors on the fly so your campaign can still be created. Skip invalid assets will automatically drop any assets that don't meet the specifications for the given asset field type. For example, a headline that has too many characters. As long as you still meet the minimum asset requirements for the field type, we'll still submit the request. If you have too many assets for a given field type, remove excess assets will only take the first n assets that still meet the maximum requirement and drop the rest. If you set create empty retail on error to true, your asset group info is invalid, the validator will automatically create an asset group without any assets if you're creating a retail campaign. As you may recall, you can create an assetless asset group for retail campaigns. However, it's all or none. You either have to meet all asset requirements or exclude assets altogether. The skip invalid asset groups field will automatically drop any asset groups that can't be fixed by the aforementioned solutions. If you create a PMax campaign with 3 asset groups and one contains an error, setting skip invalid asset groups to true will still create the PMax campaign with only the 2 valid asset groups. Remove excess asset groups automatically drops any asset groups above the limit of 100 per campaign. If you try to create a PMax campaign with more than 100 asset groups and this setting is set to true, the campaign will only use the first 100 and drop the rest. Finally, remove excess signals automatically drops any asset group signals above the limit for an asset group. Each asset group can have a maximum 1 audience signal and 25 search themes. These are just a few options I came up with based on my own experience, seeing how you all use the API. But you could also come up with your own settings. The goal here is to increase flexibility so that campaign creation is only blocked when you want it to be blocked.